And right now, what we are going to discuss in this session is about Tableau as a software, what kind of product the Tableau is providing to the end users for performing any kind of data visualization um, to gain insights from the data. So this Tableau as a software, it is going to have, it is going to have a lot of there is a lot of classifications which is available within the product suite itself. So let's try to understand what exactly is there in the product suite with again a very interesting example. So I just wanted to give you a nutshell of what is the meaning of business intelligence. So the simplest example that I have taken is that assume that you're running a grocery store, and what you will be doing with a grocery store is that, of course, there will be some kind of sales which will be happening on a daily basis. And all these sales, whichever is happening, needs to be maintained or needs to be stored somewhere, because this type of data, this sales data, is something which is very important for you in case if a particular product is sale is not happening. Why is it not happening? You want to identify it. And maybe this month for this particular product we have achieved a 10% sale. So how can I get a 20% sale for the same product in the next month? If you have some kind of questions like this, you need to basically do some analysis out of the data that you have got. So with that context, every type of sales data that you're getting it for your grocery store needs to be maintained somewhere. Most commonly, the maintenance of all the transactions that is happening with your store is going to be maintained either in your database. Most of the times it is database, or otherwise an Excel. So of course you cannot make use of Excel because of a lot of things, like especially when it comes to size. Excel cannot accommodate that much of records or that much of transactions that is happening on a daily basis. So then the choice that we end up with is, of course, your database. So you have your sales data in a database. Now what you need to do is that you always have to pick up the data which is there in the database periodically. Okay. So when I say picking up the data, you will, say, for example, you just wanted to find out a particular product sale for the last 2 weeks. So from the whole lot of data which you have it, you need to pick up for example, for a Fair and Lovely, what was the last sales for the last 2 weeks. So if you have to identify that, only you will be getting only those informations wherein Fair and Lovely was sold from the whole lot of data. So before you actually perform some analysis, what is happening is that you just make your data prepared for the analysis. So that preparation also comes as a part of the entire flow of business intelligence. So now you have the periodic data. Once you have the periodic data, you need to get or you need to gain some insights out of the data. If you have to gain some insights out of the data, what you need to know is that you will have to have certain questions. And also you need to, for those questions, you try to find out the answer. From where do you try to find out the answer? From the data that you have got. Okay. So this is what you call it as this is why you will make use of a business, visualization. So this is the whole logic that is adopted if somebody is making use of a business intelligence visualization, data visualization tool. Okay. So of course, this after insight, it is also going to be the responsibility of an analyst or a data scientist to work on the data and derive some gainable insights from the raw data. And using that, the leaders of the organization would take up some decisions. And after they have taken up some decisions, then they are going to set some targets. and they'll just inform the type of decisions that they have taken to the managers, and the managers is somebody who is going to set up the target, and also whatever decision was being made, they are going to apply that in terms of offers or in terms of sales, promotions. We do not know. Okay. But this is what is the entire flow that somebody who wanted to make use of a business intelligence tool or a data visualization tool, these are some of the activities that is unavoidable, and these are the activities one would expect to do if you're working with as an analyst or a data scientist. Okay. Now, to accelerate their work and also to support somebody who doesn't have any kind of knowledge with any sorts of programming or something, that's why we came to something called as a Tableau, right? So now, what we need to understand is that we need to understand, okay, this is the flow that has been there in any kind of uh, organization which is making use of data visualization or business intelligence. Do Tableau provide services for all of these things? That's what I need to understand, and that's what I wanted to relate it also. So first thing, what is happening? The first thing what is happening is, of course, you will have to store the data somewhere. Okay. So it most of the times I said it is going to be an database, right? So Tableau actually will help you to store the data in the form of TDE file system, which is your Tableau file system. And also there is one thing which is called as an hyper. So as much as this responsibility is concerned, of course, you do not have any kind of special product or independent product which is going to take care of these things. Okay. But this is the first ideal step, and you need to understand, or you need to remember the different types of file systems. Fine. Now, very important part is your data preparation. See, once the data is there in your database, that's taken care, because Tableau stores the data in certain format. And once that is stored in Tableau, what next you try to do is that, of course, you will try to do some analysis. So if I have to do some analysis, what I need is that I need the appropriate data. So that's where all of your dirty data is going to be cleaned and given as a pure form of data, so that you can actually build upon it. Okay. So this, for performing this data cleaning, do Tableau has some kind of product support under its product suite? Means yes, it do have something called as a Tableau prep builder. So this Tableau prep builder basically will try to perform any kind of joining operations, or union operations or splitting operations. All sorts of these type of operations will be done on the raw data, so that your raw data is going to, your dirty data is going to become more readable form of data, and a type of data from where you can actually infer some insights. So this is as a part of your Tableau, you have a prep builder, which is going to take care of all of these operations. And this is the first step of your analysis. Second thing is that once the analysis preparation is done, what next I need to do means, of course, I need to, have a day. Maybe I will have to handle the data from multiple sources, and then I have to connect those data to my Tableau, so that I can start providing some kind of visualization or some kind of report which I wanted to do it. I wanted to perform these things. Okay. So that's the third step. And that is the very important step, where, because we are doing the data analysis part here. All right. So now if I have to perform this step, does Tableau provide some kind of support to me? Means yes, it do come up with two things. One is this is actually a major product of your Tableau. One is your Tableau desktop. In desktop itself, you have two varieties. One is your personal and the other one is your professional. Okay. So One more category that what you have is called as a Tableau public. Okay. See, why this Tableau public is available means it is, of course, a kind of desktop version only, but the only, you know, the difference between your Tableau desktop and public is that public is something which is meant for money saving users. So you can actually create your workbooks, okay, but you cannot save it locally. Okay, rather it is going to be sent to your Tableau's public cloud. So that could be accessed by any of the people in the general public. Okay, but this is okay because this is going to be an economical version of software that is going to be available for you. And any kind of testing as a student, if you wanted to do that, this would definitely help you. Okay, so in desktop, of course, you get a 14 days trial version, and specifically they have a Tableau student edition also under your desktop, and Tableau teacher edition is there. So for which you need to actually fill in certain details, and once you have filled in certain details, they do the approval process. Once the approval is done, then you get a licensed version of the software so that you can work on it. Otherwise, public would do for performing all sort of operations. Okay, so now what is the difference between desktop, personal, and professional? Okay, so when you have a desktop personal version, what happens is that the workbook that you are going to create is going to be in private mode, and also the access is going to be limited. Okay, so if it is a professional one, you will have full kind of access to all the sorts of data types. And suppose if somebody wanted to publish their work on a Tableau server, for those people, this professional edition is something which is really, really useful. So for data, as much as data analysis part is concerned, as a part of my product bundle or product suite, I am going to have two things, desktop and public. Public is somebody who wanted to, save the pocket, can go for a public. Otherwise, the full version is available as a desktop version, where you have two categories again, which is one is your personal one, and then other one is your professional one. Okay, then the next step, if I have to talk about it, once you have performed an analysis, what you do is that you try to take some you wanted to gain some insight, and then you wanted to take from the insight, you wanted to take some decision, and also you wanted to verify the outcome. So in this process, there are so many things which is involved. First of all, whatever kind of insights that I'm making should not be visible to others. So meaning the type of things that I'm doing with my workbook should be safe enough. Okay. And also it should have, it should actually give me an opportunity to collaborate with other people and make my project still more interesting. And also it should be robust, and multiple tool support is there, and also cloud support should be there. So these are certain things which is associated with the point, insight, decisions, and outcome. Now, what we need to concentrate on is that, of course, this is a suite. In this suite, to perform all of these operations, we have multiple tools basically. One is your Tableau server. Let me talk about Tableau server. This is basically, you will use it to share the visualization and the workbooks, which is going to be generated in the Tableau's desktop application. Okay, and you can actually if you wanted to increase the sharing of the dashboards in your Tableau server, you should always publish your work beforehand in Tableau desktop. Okay, so this is about a Tableau server. Now, one more is there, which is your Tableau online. So as the name signifies, it is an online. It's a sharing tool again. So this is also going to have a similar usage as Tableau server, but the data is going to be saved in servers, which are provided by the cloud, which is maintained by the Tableau group. Okay. So the data that can be published on Tableau's online, it doesn't have any storage limit. Okay. So that's about the Tableau online. And a few more things are also we are having. One is your Tableau Reader. So Tableau Reader is basically a tool which will allow one to do visualization and workbooks generated using your Tableau Public or your Tableau Desktop. So here data can be easily filtered, modifications are limited. Okay. So this is one more thing that we need to remember. And also we have a multiple API support is also there, where you can start working with your mobile. So Tableau mobile is something with that you can make use of it. So for every kind of steps which was involved so far, for every kind of step, you can clearly understand the entire process of a business. And I mean, I would say business intelligence, because the whole entire process, what it concentrated on is definitely how to get fruitful insight from the raw data which is in the hand. So the whole process is supported well with the assistance of the product suites that is available in Tableau. So we just got to know about the Tableau's products. So the next session could be a quick tour on the working of Tableau. So that's all I have for this session. Hope you had understood the basics of Tableau.